This is a whole strip loin, also known as the prime rib killer. Move over, prime rib. There's a new top roast in town, and he's from New York. Prime rib is a very popular special occasion meat dish. Who doesn't like it? Hot, juicy, it's just perfect. But the problem is it's expensive. And I'm talking like take out a second mortgage while you're at the butcher shop, expensive. They should have a little kiosk where you can start putting your prime rib on payments. That's how expensive I'm talking about. Today, I'm gonna show you a prime rib alternative. I'm gonna show you the whole strip loin, how to cut it, how to tie it. We're gonna roast it and then make a delicious horseradish sauce to go with it. Man, we are going to do the whole thing today. Let me show you why this cut needs to be on your next holiday table. Let's get to it. The strip loin is a subprimal cut that comes off of the short loin. It's most commonly known as the New York strip. It's leaner than a ribeye and more flavorful than a tenderloin. It has a generous fat cap that's gonna keep our roast nice and juicy. All these characteristics make it a great alternative to prime rib. Next, we're gonna pull it out of the package and do some light trimming, and we'll get started. All right, so we open the package. We're gonna carefully lift this out. Then carefully take the bag and throw it in the trash with all the liquids still in the bag. This is gonna be a heavy paper towel day, I can tell already. All right, so we just have some light trimming to do. Not too much. We're gonna take this fat cap down to about 1/4 inch. There's also a piece of connective tissue that runs right alongside, called the back strap, so we're gonna take that out as well. You can kind of see it starting already. There is a big piece of connective tissue that runs right alongside here. So what we're gonna do is get underneath it, kind of like when we're taking out the silver skin of a tenderloin. We're gonna do the same thing here. If you've ever had a New York strip and there's a piece at the top that has like a lot of gristly stuff, that's what this is. Then we're gonna take our 10-inch breaking knife and just take this fat cap down. We wanna go down to about 1/4 inch, okay? You can leave a little more fat on if you like a little more fat. If you wanna take it down a little more, you can. It's completely up to you. We want to have a little bit though, because we're going to score the fat so it gets nice and crispy. I'm just going to square this little piece up a little bit. Again, all this edible trim, all the fat and the meat, we can make hamburgers out of, ground beef, it'll be delicious. All right, so now I kind of have it where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and just square it off so it looks nicer. Our rule of thumb is we're going to do about 1.5 inches for a roast per person. And again, that depends on who you're cooking for. If you know you're cooking for the fire department and some hearty appetites, then go ahead and adjust accordingly. But it'll give us a nice roast for 4 people. So we're gonna go 6 inches in, and then just roughly, we don't do things super exact around here. We eyeball a lot of stuff, but about 6 inches for 4 people. And with the rest of this, we can just cut New York strips out of the rest of it. You can save another roast. You can do a whole bunch of other stuff. There's videos on the channel about how to do all that stuff. And this one especially, I'm super excited about this. You guys are getting to know about this for the first time, is I have a dry ager. I just got one, and now I'm gonna go dry age this for an experiment, and we're gonna make some dry aged steaks. So stay on the lookout for that one in the future. The next thing we're gonna do before we truss this thing up is I'm going to go ahead and score some of the fat. So we're gonna take our knife and just kind of score in a diamond shaped pattern. We're gonna go down one side, and you wanna get down a little bit through that fat cap. What this is gonna do is allow that fat cap to render out completely and get a little crispy, because we're gonna start out low, We're gonna start roasting this thing out low and then go high so we can then get crispy fat on top, and that's what we want. Next, we're gonna truss this thing. We're gonna tie it up so it comes together in a nice compact package. As always, all the equipment that I use is available via the link in the description, especially the Butcher Wizard line of butcher knives, which are available on Amazon. Click that link and you'll get a 10% off coupon, or go ahead and do one of the QR codes that's floating around my head somewhere and you can get that discount as well. Thank you, and I appreciate the support. All right, so now we're going to truss this thing. Now, trussing is just a word that means we're gonna tie it up. It's gonna make it cook evenly, and it's just gonna make the overall presentation look better in the end. We're gonna take our twine. You're gonna go about 1 inch in. All right, so we're gonna pull it over here. You're gonna take your 2 fingers and go around 2 times and grab the little end right here. And then pull it nice and taut. Now what that does is just holds the knot there, so you can go ahead and put in another knot, another overhand knot, and tighten this thing up. Perfect. So then we will take our knife and then cut the ends. Let's do it one more time. Here we go, 2 fingers, 2 times, around, nice and taut. Another knot, just like that. And again, we're making it nice, tight, and compact. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these, and then we're gonna get to seasoning. All right, for our seasoning mix today, I just made a quick salt, pepper, garlic mixture. We got kosher salt, we got black pepper, and we got granulated garlic. So you cannot season this thing too much. So we are going to need a little bit, we're gonna need a lot of it, and let's get to seasoning. So there is our roast, all tied up. So what we're gonna do is do a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I love this as a binder just because it adds to the color. It has a great flavor to it. So I want to make sure that I get it all, and it helps all the seasoning stick. So that's the most important part. And like I was saying, you cannot season this thing too much. You need to heavily season this thing, because when you go and have a slice, you're only going to get seasoning on this top part. The inside of the meat's not going to have seasoning. So it really needs to carry the whole thing. Make sure you get the cut ends, all the sides. Pat it in. Give it a little steak, little roast massage. And I'm just gonna let this roast just sit on the counter for about 20, 25 minutes while we preheat our oven. Remember, we're gonna cook this slow at first, and then we're gonna jack up the heat after it's reached its internal temperature we're looking for. Let's preheat our oven and let's get to cooking. Who's gonna clean up all this mess? So we're gonna put this in a 300-degree oven until it reaches about 105-ish, 110, and then I'm gonna jack up the heat to 500, and we're gonna crisp up the outside, bringing it up to temperature. I'm gonna be using the Tyfer wireless thermometer to monitor this cook, and it'll tell me exactly when it's ready to go. Put the probe in the middle, in the thickest part. There we go. Let's throw this in the oven. All right, so here's our roast coming out. We pulled it at 105, between 105 and 110, and now we're gonna jack up the heat to 500 degrees and then it's gonna sear the outside. So all this fat is gonna get crispy and crunchy. It's gonna be so, so delicious. Now, we're gonna set our next target temperature at 125 degrees. With a roast like this, you have a 10-degree carryover cooking. So what's gonna happen is when you pull it and let it rest, its final resting time, it's gonna continue to cook. You wanna pull your roast 10 degrees prior to the temperature that you wanna eat it at. So I'm shooting for 135, I wanna pull it at 125. All right, so we pulled our strip roast and now we're gonna let it rest. Man, I can't wait. This thing smells amazing. Everything crisps up really nicely. We got a lot of crispy cracklings on the top there. So that's gonna be so delicious. Let's let it rest for about 20 minutes or so, and then we're gonna cut into it and see what we got. While our roast is resting, we will make our horseradish sauce real quick. It's super easy, couple of ingredients, but it makes everything taste so much better. So let's go do that. For our horseradish sauce, we have a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 cup sour cream, got about a tablespoon of prepared horseradish. We have the juice of half a lemon. All right, so all in, we were about an hour and 20 minutes of cook time. So I think it went really well. The fire alarm went off. That was rough, but you know, hey, we're just gonna keep pressing on, keep pressing through, man. You can see how crispy and crunchy that the fat got on top. All right, so we got our Butcher Wizard slicing knife, meat slicer. Let's see how we did. There we go. Look at that. That is really nice. Try something different. Next time that you have a holiday table, try something different. Let's give it a taste. Super good, super tender. This is everything you want in a roast. It has a great flavor. It has the fat cap on top, so you're not missing out on the fat. Man, you know when you try our horseradish sauce. Almost forgot about the horseradish. So good. Remember this, next time you're thinking of a holiday dish, try a New York strip roast. Thanks a lot. Check the links in the description. We will see you on the next one.